Lando Norris has been one of the brightest stars ever since he came into the sport in 2019 and has shown how good of a driver he is over the years. He has proven that he can drag a car that doesn't maybe deserve to be on the podium to P3 and P2, and he can even get a pole position in a car that was 4th quickest in 2021. Lando really became one of the best drivers on the grid in 2021 with how quick but consistent he was, and at one point he was ahead of a Mercedes and Bottas in the Drivers' Championship, showing how good he was. He probably should have a win to his name if he had just pitted for the intermediate tyres, but it was a big bit of a learning for him to become an even better driver. Whilst he was teammates with multiple race winner in Daniel Ricciardo for 2021 and 2022, he dominated him, which was a massive eye-opener for everyone at how good Norris really was. But the question is about how Lando deserves a better car than a midfield McLaren, even though he has signed a long-term contract and extensions almost any time a possible move could happen. In today's video, we will touch upon how Lando has just not been able to perform in 2023 and is having trouble, such as his poor race in Spain, where it looked so promising, then it all slipped away from the British driver. And we will also then touch upon how he should get out of a McLaren for a top team as soon as possible if he wants his career to reach greater heights. Let's get straight into it. McLaren in 2022 had a very slow start to the season, but after a few races, Lando got a podium in Imola, and the team built on that and got beat by Alpine for the best of the rest spot in P4 in the standings, which was mainly down to Ricciardo just not performing at all, resulting in his departure. This season, it's been another slow start for the team, and they knew this as they lowered expectations coming into the season, and when it came to Bahrain, they were not wrong and they were the slowest car on the grid. Ever since, they've not made the jump forward that they have hoped to have done already this season, and sometimes lucky to get points. It all depends on how good the car performs on the track. The McLaren just does not look good to drive at all for Norris, but also Piastri, but Lando is able to hook up some good performance out of the car, even though it is not expected. Lando in Spain qualified in P3, which was his best start of the season. The team were not expecting much for the race and we were still hoping to get a points finish with the British driver. As we know, it's so hard to get points due to them being 4 teams ahead of the midfield in Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston Martin and Ferrari. But there are still opportunities in the race to take home points in Spain. However, on lap 1 of the race coming out of turn 1, Lando would collide with Lewis Hamilton, which was a racing incident, which meant they had front wing damage and would be stuck at the back of the grid for the whole race. And his race was over as he had no chance to get points, pretty much due to being no safety car. It was just bad luck for Lando and he seems not to be able to catch a break right now. The season started on the back foot with him being annoyed at the team as he is clearly invested in bringing them back to the front, but they are just not doing the work in the factory to give him the car to show everyone else how good he really is. You can kind of tell how he's getting very frustrated at the team, but he is still continuing to put his all into it. The car isn't there at this moment in time, and McLaren will probably fall back to P6 in the championship, where they finished P3 in 2020, which is a massive drop off in the span of a few years. Last year, Lando would be sick and tired of taking home P7, which was the top of the midfield last year, but we are sure that he would bite your hand off if he could get P7 in most races this season. The car is just terrible for both drivers, but it is all down to McLaren if they want to be back where they think they belong, and that is fighting at the front. And they hope to do that with Lando, but he may not even be at the team by then. Why do you think that McLaren is performing so badly? Is it because they maybe do not have their wind tunnel built yet? Or is there another reason that you think why McLaren is doing so badly this year? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Next up, we're going to talk about how Lando kind of needs to get out of the team so he can fulfill his dream of winning a championship, and how he may just want to stay at McLaren forever. It has become very apparent that Norris loves McLaren and everything they stand for due to what they have done for him when he was in F2, and of course he debuted with them, so the team means a lot to him. At the start of the 2022 season, it came out that Red Bull wanted Lando and they were talking, but then Lando goes and signs a massive contract extension for many years to come. It may have been a smart move by Lando to try and get more money out of McLaren, but that may not actually be the case, as he might just want to be a legend at the team where everyone else remembers him for staying there forever. He seems to be wanting the trust process. This may take years and years, and he could be the age of Fernando Alonso by the time that even happens. However, on the other hand, Lando could possibly move to a top team in the near future that will be able to provide him with a championship winning car, or at least a car he can can work with to get podiums with. For the case of him joining Aston Martin, it is very possible actually, and this is because Stroll has been very poor so far this season, and Norris has a good relationship with Alonso, and they will be a very good partnership, who are both very quick. Then you look at Ferrari, where it is possible, that is for certain, as there is little bit of talks over Leclerc's contract, and he could leave, which leaves a spot open, or the team could part way with Lando's good mate in Carlos Sainz. It is a possibility that Norris joins Ferrari, but it is unlikely. Then you have a quick look at Mercedes, but this all depends on what happens with Lewis Hamilton and when he retires or leaves the team in the near future. Russell is for the future, and having a partnership with him and Norris would be something special to see in a British team in Mercedes. The final option, and the one that looks the most likely at this very moment in time, is at Red Bull, where Norris would probably replace Sergio Perez at the end of the 2024 season when his contract is up with Red Bull. Lando is very good friends with Verstappen, so there's no issue there, and of course Red Bull has the fastest car, so why would he not want to join a team where he's a good chance of winning races? The only problem is Max Verstappen, and how Lando may be a little scared to join the team, as he could be embarrassed by the current double world champion. It is a risk, but also a reward to Lando, so you can understand why he's taken his time to decide what to do. He could join the team and beat Max and win the championship, or he could join the team and get beaten easily by Max. It is all down to how much of a risk he wants to take to win races and championships. Make sure to drop a comment below and let us know where you think Lando Norris will be in a couple of seasons' time. Still at McLaren, or as a top team getting consistent results and podiums. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one.